Hi everybody, I'm Pia from Stitches and Scraps. Today I'm going to show you how to make a river birch leaf. This video goes along with a full written pattern and chart. We'll be referring to the chart throughout the video. You can get the pattern and the chart at the link in the description on this video if you're watching this on YouTube, or in the blog post if you're watching this directly on my blog. You'll notice that I've highlighted every alternate row on the chart. That's just to make it easier to see which row you're on with every stitch. On the actual chart in the pattern, these are in blue. These actual stitches are in blue, but I only have a black and white printer. So what I do is I print it in black and white, and then I highlight the stitches that are supposed to be a different color. And you can do that too if you've got a chart that's in color and you only have a black and white printer like me. So let's get started right here with the beginning of the foundation chain and the stem. We're going to be working both the foundation chain of the first row and the stem all together at the same time. So let's first look at this part of it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chains for the left side of the leaf, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chains for the stem. So we're first going to chain 14. Okay, so that gets us all of these chains here. Now we have to slip stitch in the second chain from the hook, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more chains. So we're going to do a total of 6 slip stitches. I like to work the stem in the back bump. I think that's just the prettiest look, but you can definitely do it however you like. So going into the back bump of the chains, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that's the stem portion done. Okay, so this is the top of the stem right here. Now we're over here, and now we want to make the chains for the rest of the foundation chain and the beginning of row 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 foundation chains, plus 3 for a turning chain for row 1. So that's 10 total. 1, 2, 3, 10. And that is the end of our stem and foundation chains right there. Okay, let's go ahead and start with row 1. The last 3 chains we did are the turning chains for row 1. And what those extra chains do for us is they give us these little serrations on the end of the leaf because they stick out a little bit, almost like a picot. So we're going to put our first single crochet in the 4th chain from our hook. So there's 1, 2, 3, there's the 4th chain. Now working down this side, again, you can do exactly what you prefer. I like to work this one either in the top loop or in the top loop and the back bump. So this is the chain I'm going into. I'm going to go top loop and back bump for this one. So that is a single crochet in the 4th chain from hook, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 more single crochets. So let's do those. And again, consistency is the key here. So whatever you choose, however you're working into the bumps, do it the same, or loops, do it the same for every one of them. How many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want 1 more. Okay, that is the 5 single crochet that are right here. Now I do a decrease in the next 2. So there is pull up a loop in the 1, and then pull up a loop in the second one, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. There is my decrease right there. So next we're going to put a single crochet right in the base of that stem there. The base of the stem is right here, so we're going to single crochet into the base of the stem. Now we do another decrease. We're basically mirroring this side over here. So we do another decrease over 2 stitches, a single crochet 2 together, and then 5 more single crochet, and that should bring us to the end of our chain. So I was going in the top loop and the back bump, so right there. Pull up a loop, pull up a loop. So now I have 3 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through 2. That's my decrease. And then 5 more single crochet. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And my last chain is always a little funky to work into because I don't use a slip knot. Oop. There we go. There's 5. Give that a bit of a tug. And there is our first row. All right, let's move on to row 2. I'm starting row 2 with the same chain 3 turning chain to give me that little bump, and then we're going to do an increase. We're going to do 2 single crochet in the first stitch. So let's do that. There's 1, 2, 3 for the turning chain. Turn my work around, and right here in this first stitch, I'm going to do 2 single crochets. 1, 2, and then I do 1, 2, 3 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Good. There's my next 3 stitches. Now I do another decrease, a single crochet 2 together over this last single crochet and this single crochet 2 together from the last row. So here, if we look, is my last single crochet and my decrease there. So I'm going to do a single crochet 2 together. Pull up a loop in the first stitch, pull up a loop in the second stitch, yarn over and pull through 2. There's my single crochet 2 together. And then I'm going to do a slip stitch in the top of that single crochet from the stem. Now make sure you're not getting twisted and trying to work this way or something like that. Find your stem and that single crochet that you put in there. Make sure you're looking at the tops of the stitches. It's easy to get this Y shape turned around at the beginning here. So I'm just going to do a slip stitch in the top of that single crochet. Okay, now I'm repeating on the other side. Decrease, 3 single crochet, increase. Okay, so here's my decrease, my single crochet 2 together, 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 single crochet in the same stitch for an increase. 1, 2. And this is not a stitch here, this is the little bump from that turning chain. So that's brought us right to here. For row 3, again, it's very similar. We're going to start with the turning chain 3, and we're going to do 2 single crochet in the first stitch. Let's do that much. 1, 2, 3, turn, and 2 single crochet in this first stitch. Now this is where it gets different. We're going to do 4 single crochet, so a single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. And then this decrease here is a center decrease. It goes over this slip stitch, like ignoring this slip stitch. We're going to put one leg of it, see where the leg is pointing, into this decrease here, and one leg into that decrease there, completely ignoring the slip stitch in the center. So let's do that. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, and now let's line up where we're looking at our decrease. Okay, this little tiny loop here, that's our slip stitch. So this one and this one are our 2 decreases, or from the previous row. So that's where our decrease is going to go. So we're going to go into this one and pull up a loop, and then we're skipping that slip stitch, and we're going to go into this one and pull up a loop. There's our 3 loops. Yarn over and pull through all 3. And that gives us that centered decrease. Now we do 4 more single crochet and then an increase in the last stitch. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 single crochet. And then right here is the last stitch. We're going to put 2 stitches in that one. So 1, 2. And that's the end of row 3. Let's take a look at row 4. Row 4 starts the same way, except with a slight difference. Notice that this increase here is not in the first stitch, it's in the second stitch. On row 4, we're going to chain 3, skip the first stitch, and do our increase, do 2 single crochet in the second stitch. This is going to start drawing our leaf into a point now. So we skip the first stitch, we do 2 single crochet in the second stitch. Let's do that. Here's my turning chain 3, skip the first stitch, and do 2 single crochet in the second stitch. Now I do 2 more single crochet and then a decrease over the next 2 stitches. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and a decrease over the next 2. So I pull up a loop in one, pull up a loop in the other, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on my hook. Now I'm at the center again and I'm going to do a slip stitch. Notice in the center we're alternating between that center decrease and slip stitches. So on all the wrong side rows pretty much throughout this, at least through the center part of the leaf, we're going to be doing slip stitches. And on all the right side rows, the odd number rows, we're going to be doing that center decrease. So here is my center and I'm going to put a slip stitch in that. And then we do the same thing going up the other way. We do a decrease, 2 single crochet, and an increase. So there is my decrease, pull up 1, pull up the second one, yarn over and pull through, 2 single crochet, 1 in each of the next 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochet in this stitch, and we're going to skip that last stitch. There we go. That is row 4. For row 5, we're going to do a chain 3 and 2 single crochet in the first stitch, and then a single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, and then our center decrease. So chain 3. Now we do 2 single crochet in the first stitch, single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, and the center decrease, remember, goes over that slip stitch and skips the slip stitch entirely. So we're going to pull up a loop in the stitch before the slip stitch, we're going to pull up a loop in the stitch after the slip stitch, and we're going to yarn over and pull through 3. So that is our center decrease. Then we have a single crochet in the next 3 stitches and 2 single crochet in the last stitch. 1, 2, 3. We've reached the last stitch. Remember, this is our chain 3, so that's not a stitch. There's our last stitch, and we do 2 single crochet into this last stitch. And that's row 5. The rows are getting faster now, right? Okay, we're on row 6. Row 6 is similar to row 4. We're going to start with a chain 3, we're going to skip the first stitch, and we're going to do 2 single crochet in the second stitch. So let's do that. Chain 3, turn, skip that first stitch, and 2 single crochet in the second stitch. Now we do 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then we're already at our decreases here, okay? So it's single crochet in the next stitch, and then a single crochet 2 together. So single crochet in this stitch, single crochet 2 together. So pull up 1, pull up 2, yarn over and pull through all 3. Now we're at our center, and at our center we're just going to do a slip stitch, and then we're going to repeat what we just did going the other direction. So decrease here, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and we leave the last stitch unworked. And that is row 6. And on to row 7. Row 7 is another one where we're going to skip our edge stitches here. So it's chain 3, skip the first stitch, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, and then our center decrease, and then we go back with a single crochet in the next stitch and 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So chain 3, turn our work, 2 single crochet in the second stitch. So we skip the first stitch, go straight to the second one, and do 2 single crochet. And then a single crochet in the next stitch. And that brings us to our center. There's our slip stitch. So we're going to pull up a loop before the slip stitch, pull up a loop after the slip stitch, and decrease those off together. Then 1 more single crochet in the next stitch and 2 single crochet in the next one. So 1 there, 2 here, and we skip that last one right there. And that is row 7. Row 8 doesn't have any individual single crochets at all, and now we're really getting up to the point of our leaf. So we're going to start with an increase in the first stitch, so 2 single crochet in the first stitch, and then go right into our decrease, slip stitch, decrease, and then 2 single crochet in the last stitch. So chain 3, turn, 2 single crochet in the first stitch, and we're right into our decrease. So decrease here, that's a single crochet 2 together, slip stitch in the center, decrease here, which is single crochet 2 together, and 2 single crochet in the last stitch. And that is row 8. On row 9, we're going to chain 3, skip the first stitch and the last stitch there, right? So chain 3, 2 single crochet in the second stitch, then our center decrease, and then 2 single crochet in the next stitch and skip the last stitch. So chain 3, turn, we're skipping the first stitch here, so we go right into the second one with 2 single crochet. And then we're doing the center decrease. So there's our slip stitch. We pick up a loop on this side, we pick up a loop on that side, and we decrease them off together. And then an increase in the next stitch. So 2 single crochet in this stitch. And oops, I ran out of yarn. I will have to join a new piece to finish this. And that is row 9. Okay, I've joined a new piece just for the last couple rows here, and that's again just because I ran out in my ball. There was a cut there that I didn't realize. So we're on to row 10, and now we stop doing the chain 3. Now we're going to do chain 2, because as we get closer to the point, we want slightly smaller bumps there, right? So on row 10, we're not doing an increase either at the ends. We're going to do just a single crochet in the first stitch and a single crochet in the last stitch. And in between, we're doing another center decrease. This one, it's not skipping a slip stitch, it's skipping the center decrease from the last row. So we're going to do single crochet, center decrease, single crochet. If we were keeping our pattern of alternating, we would do single crochet, slip stitch, single crochet, but doing the center decrease just pushes up the center of the leaf just that slight bit more for more of a point. So we're going to chain 2, turn, I'm going to ignore my tails, and we're going to single crochet in the first stitch, and then we're going to work a center decrease. So there's our center stitch right there. We're going to pull up a loop in this stitch, pull up a loop in the stitch on the other side of it, skipping that center stitch, and do a decrease. Then in the last stitch, we're going to just do a single crochet. And that is row 10. We just have one more row to go. Row 11 is our last row, and it makes the point at the top of the leaf. So it's chain 2, then our center decrease. Again, we're skipping that decrease from the last row instead of a slip stitch. So we decrease using these 2 single crochet and ignoring that center stitch. So we're going to chain 2, do a center decrease, and then we're going to do a picot. And a picot is simply chain 3 and then slip stitch back into the top of the stitch. And that's going to give us the very top little loop there. So I chain 2 and I turn. And then here's my 3 stitches, right? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do a decrease over these 2, ignoring that center one. So pull up a loop in the first one, pull up a loop in the last one, and yarn over and pull through all 3. So that's my last stitch, my last decrease. Now I'm going to do a picot. I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to slip stitch back into this stitch. There's a lot of different ways to do it. You can go into the stitch like this and do your slip stitch, or you can go into the stitch like this and do a slip stitch kind of backwards. My preference is to go in through just the front loop of the stitch, and then also this loop that's here. This is one of the stitches that we went through when we did our decrease. It's one of the loops we picked up in the decrease. And that gives me a nice little tight picot that sits nicely on the top of the leaf. So that's my preference, but again, you can go into the picot or into the stitch any way you want to finish your picot. And let's just cut the yarn. And that is row 11. And there you can see the little picot on top of the last stitch. Now you've probably noticed that this is curling a lot and it doesn't want to stay flat, and that's okay. It's going to do that. Blocking is very important for this pattern, and when you block, stick a pin into each of these chain 3 spaces and really pull it out to open it up. And that will give you a result that looks something like this. Much more even, right? Compared to that, that's the same pattern. This is just after blocking. So really pin out your chain 3 loops. This one, I could even have gone a little more aggressively on these ones, but pin out your chain 3 loops. And then this one, technically according to the chart, the odd numbered rows are the right side and the even numbered rows are the wrong side, but this one really doesn't have a right side or wrong side, right? So pick the side you think looks best and weave in your ends on the other side. So I picked this for my right side and I wove in my ends. Actually, I picked this for my right side and I wove in my ends on this side. And that's how you make a river birch leaf. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, or leave me a comment. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel for more great videos. Thanks for watching.